What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Here we are, it's Monday again. Good to see everyone, or at least be seen by everyone. So, here we are, October. As I think a lot of people know, this is my favorite month. Well, in my top three. They float around a little bit, I guess. But here we are, and I want to talk about this month. I want to talk about Halloween. That's no surprise. And, why don't we just go down to the table, forget the whole intro thing, and just start talking about Halloween games. Old-timey games and the ones I like nowadays. All right, sound good? Cool. I'll see you down the table, everyone. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G. Let's get this started. Halloween and gaming actually has a long and very connected history. You know, in the early 1900s, Halloween time was really crazy. It was anarchy. And not just with the kids and the teens, but even the young adults were wilding. In some places, they were overturning cars, burning down small neighborhoods. It was wild. It really was a night of wilding. So they decided to rein it in and start making it more of a family and children-themed event. And that's when we started seeing a lot of games get incorporated for Halloween time. Now, they've changed over the years. When I was a really small kid, I remember going to a party that was kind of old-timey, that had bobbing for apples and pinning the tail on the devil. There was a piñata, I think, that was shaped like a witch, I think. It's hard to remember. I was so young. But it did. It had all the trappings of a classic Halloween party from before my generation. And I still remember that, mostly, as you can tell. But things have changed. And gaming has changed. Wow, gaming has changed a hell of a lot in the last 100 years, hasn't it? That would be a very interesting video in and of itself, I think. But, there are a lot of games right now that bring the whole aspect, the sensation, the atmosphere of Halloween a little bit more to life than just bobbing for apples and hoping someone doesn't hold your head down. What pops up to me, some newer quote games that come to mind about Halloween. Definitely you have like murder mystery party games. They've been popular for decades now. You get to send out invitations and make it a little bit, role-playing-ish if you have the right group of friends for that. And everyone shows up and you have this murder mystery party. Who did it? That's a kind of fun. And also escape rooms. Over the years, the last few decades, escape rooms are something else that have become very popular. And there's a hell of a lot of them that are Halloween themed. But for more of a tabletop experience that I'm looking for, really, more or less, is a tabletop adventure in a horror theme, there's a lot of good and interesting titles. So if you're looking for something on your table that can be played for Halloween time and fill that need of that atmosphere, I have a few suggestions for you. Now, looking at these games, some of them are going to take a long time to play, some are going to take a short time to play, some are a little more family-orientated than others. So why don't we break this down a little bit? So if you're looking for a game that's going to take all night, you're looking for one of those big, epic experiences, there are two things that pop to mind. Ghost Stories, this Japanese-based story where you are literally fighting off ghosts. It has a little bit of a crawl feel to it, has a little bit of a tower defense feel to it, and it has a hell of a lot of are we actually going to beat this game feel to it. And it will run a good chunk of the night for you, depending on which version of the game you play, how many players you have, and all of that. Now, another title that's going to be a big chunk of your time, is going to run all day and night, but it's definitely going to deliver that atmosphere of horror and dread, that feeling of hopelessness. And that's Eldritch Horror. And this game is world-spanning, and it definitely delves deeper into the atmosphere of a Lovecraftian mythos than a lot of the other games in this series. And there's a lot of great games in this series that does that. So I think that says a lot. But maybe you're not ready to dedicate an entire night to just playing one game on that table. Maybe you're looking for a bunch of quick filler games. Or maybe you have multiple tables going for the game night. So besides the big epic table, you're going to want some side tables going. Well, there is a lot of good, fun, short, little quick horror games that you can think about getting to enhance your Halloween party. And the first one that comes to mind that fills this category is something that I've been playing forever. Love this game so much, and that's Zombie Dice. This is a great little game where you are the zombies trying to eat brains. That's basically it. That's a push your luck Yahtzee style feel to the game. And there are a couple of expansions, 3 actually expansions for it, that really fill out the feel of this fun little dice chucking filler game. Flux. Now, Flux has a lot of good skins on this game, and there's a couple that stand out for Halloween. The one I'm going to mention right now is Cthulhu Flux. So this is a game that is always in a state of flux. The rules change depending on what new rule cards a player wants to put down from their hand. So you're always chasing a goal that's going to be slipping out of your reach. It's very Sisyphus. Actually, no, it's more like Tantalus. As soon as you think you got it, it pulls away from you. Yeah, not Sisyphus. This is a very Tantalus-styled game. And it's going to give you a lot of fun. Now, if you're looking for a quick little game that gives you that who is it aspect, that's not going to be a big, huge, involved game. Nosferatu, where somebody is Renfield, somebody is secretly Dracula or Nosferatu, and the rest of the hunters trying to figure out who's who and what's what. And the only one anyone knows for sure is Renfield. And this Mafia werewolf-style game is a nice, compact, small little game that's not going to take very long at all and feels nice into the filler category for horror games. Now, other games that aren't necessarily going to be all-night epics or very quick little filler games, we have a ton of those in case you're interested in looking for a good Halloween game. Horrified has a couple of different versions, one of them with the classic Universal monsters, and the other based on American cryptids or cryptozoology-style creatures and monsters, and both those games always deliver. Coma Ward is a bit of a mystery horror game where you and the other players wake up in a coma ward, completely empty, barren of everyone except each other, but you have no memories. Go around, collect pieces, deal with strangeness, and then eventually reveal what's going on. And there's about a dozen or a baker's dozen worth of different scenarios in the base core game of this alone. And this is going to deliver that really creepy feeling. The Bloody Inn is a classic I play here quite often. 1800s France, you decided to turn your farm into a bed and breakfast, but really what you're doing is bribing officials and killing people that come through your rooms in order to steal from them. Because what else are you going to do in France in the 1800s? Things are falling apart. Masters of the Night is going to deliver this really awesome vampire feel of a game. It's almost like they wanted this to be a board game version of Masquerade, Vampire the Masquerade game from the 90s. It definitely has that feel to it. If you want to play a vampire, this gives you the chance. Abomination, you're playing the, quote, heir of Frankenstein. And you've been approached by someone or something in order to use Frankenstein's notes to create a new creature. And you're in competition with the other players to steal body parts, sew them together, and try to recreate the doctor's notes to bring life to your new Adams and Eves. That feels Halloween-y. But if you're looking for maybe something fun, let me just end off here on a fun little note for Halloween, because there are a bunch of good family-friendly, kid-friendly style games. One of them I want to bring to your attention is called Gloom. There's a few different editions of Gloom, even a Gloom Cthulhu, but they're all pretty much the same. You run a family. Think of the Addams Family. You run this weird, kooky, creepy family, just like everyone else has their kooky, creepy family, and you're trying to play cards to make the others happy. Yeah, give them happy lives. while you yourself are trying to make your own family members as miserable as possible before you kill them off. So that's how you get multiple points. That is a really fun game, especially when you engage in the storytelling aspect of it by describing what the card's effect is on each player. Oh, it gets hysterical. And finally, I want to end off with Shea Cthulhu. This is a game of, being ne'er-do-wells, trying to do as little as possible. And in this case, you're doing it while being a cultist and hoping that you're the last one eaten. So it's building up slack while building up insanity at the same time. And it does have a lot of fun art, and it's going to give you a few chuckles and giggles along the way. So if you're looking for a good party-style game to throw on your table for Halloween time, there you go. I gave you a bunch of great options. But don't listen to me. I'm not an influencer. I'm an informer. So go take this information, and I suggest watch some playthroughs of these titles that sound interesting to you. That's the best way to discover if you're going to enjoy a game. A lot better than just listening to some talking head saying, I love the game, you should play it and buy it. No, don't. Watch a playthrough. Make up your own mind. Be informed, not influenced. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Pixar presents Legendary Gaming, and